All right, guys, and just like that, we are at it again. We are live on Tuesday, February 23rd. Today's Monday. Monday, February 23rd, 2026. Checking in with your cousin Dustin. We're going to look at the markets as we always do. Clear my throat. As I always do. Feel it. Do you feel it? I feel it. I feel it. I do. Dow Jones is down 1.72% to 48,774.81. S&P 500 is down 1.22% to 6,825.52. Nasdaq is down 1.43% to 22,558.56. Russell is down 1.68% today to 2,619.04. The VIX is up to it's up 12.62% today to 21.5. We got a lot of stuff going on. You got, let me shut this door real quick. Yeah, you got the cartels going wild in Mexico. You got Iran, America, preparing to do something probably to Iran, it seems. Let's keep going with the markets. We got the Qs are down 1.5%. So overall, down in the major indices. Gold's up, as can be expected in a situation like this. Whoops. I don't know why that's on my watch list. That's so stupid. Hey, what are you doing? What are you trying to do to me, man? Gold is up. Daddy likes that. Your cousin Dustin likes to see that. That's going to help me out. Got a little gold in the account. So, leave a comment below. What do you guys think about the global nonsense? I'll put my opinions out there. They're pretty simple. I think you mess with America, you're gonna get the hammer. That's what I think. Especially right now, Donald Trump seems like he's a nut. It's not good or bad, but you're gonna find out, and it's not gonna be very fun. That's the way I think about it. When it comes to the Mexico and the Iran, it's not like you can debate on whether things are right or wrong, and sit there and do that, or you can say, this is how it's gonna go down. Sorry. All right, we're looking at the heat map. Health tech is up. It's about the only sector that's seeing much green. Apple's up 0.77%, and Nvidia's up 0.45%. Walmart's up 2.24%. Some other stocks that are up today, T-Mobile is up 1.95%. ExxonMobil is up 2.2%, energy stock. SanDisk. I covered SanDisk the other day. SanDisk is resilient to the pressure. It's up 1.97%. All right. Mm-hmm. That's just the heat map for the S&P 500. Let's see all U.S. companies. That changes up the heat map a little bit. I've never really experimented too much with the heat map in this way. So yeah, guys, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna cover the markets. We're gonna freestyle a bit today. I'll probably read a couple of articles. Probably stick around till about 4:15 or so today. That's kind of my plan. Freestyle a bit today. Freestyle. Russell 2000. Let's see what the Argentinian companies look like. They're all red as hell today. Look at this. Argentina? All Australian companies? Australia has a stock market. Y'all didn't even know that. Y'all truly did not even know that. The NASDAQ. Mm-hmm. It's my heater. I think you can hear that in the background. I'm going to shut it off. I'll shut off here in a second. Back to some charts. We got gold at $5,243, up 3.19% today. Silver is up 6.63% today to $87.81. Just hit a bunch of random buttons, see what happens. So let's have a look at Meta here. They are down 2.78% today to $638.16. Let me know in the comments, guys. You think Meta's a buy right here or no? I kind of do. I ain't gonna lie about it. I ain't gonna hide it from you. I think so. Alright. We'll just run through some of the cryptos as well. Bitcoin is the #1 trending one here on CoinMarketCap. It's down over the past 24 hours. It's down 4.84%. Ethereum, yeah, Bitcoin sitting at $64,152.85 a coin. Ethereum is at $1,854.30, down 4.56% today. XRP is at $1.35. Fascinating stuff. Interesting. This might be interesting. I covered IBM the other day, so maybe we'll have a look at that one after this. Look at its charts. So we'll read this one, as long as it lets us. Dow Jones and NASDAQ index tumbled today as IBM dumps shares in broad U.S. stock sell-off. This is by James Hyerzik. Key points. Tariff-driven selling intensifies as the Dow leads losses, with major U.S. stock indices under broad pressure today. Dow Cash Index breaks its 50-day moving average, setting sights on a key value zone that could attract bargain hunters. IBM selling contributes to broader stress, while the S&P 500 slides toward a key 6762-6705 support cluster. This looks to be a pretty informative article. Dow Jones leads losses as Trump's tariff order rattles all three indexes. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is the biggest percentage loser late in the session on Monday. However, the sell-off is ramping up in all three major indexes, following President Trump's order to increase global tariffs. The biggest losers in the Dow are the International Business, IBM, down 10.89%, American Express down 8.16%, and Salesforce down 5.25%. While you've got Procter & Gamble and Walmart are both up 2.5%. I like that. So we covered IBM the other day and Salesforce. They're both at very low levels right now. If they keep pushing lower, I mean, it's like, are these companies going to go out of business or something? I mean, how low can they go? You know what I mean? We'll look at Salesforce and IBM after this. Dow Cash Index breaks through 50-day moving average with key value zone at 48 Yeah, 48,120 to 47,556 in sight. I got a little chart here. Okay. The Dow Cash Index continues to press downward through its 50-day moving average at 49,025.28, which is new resistance. Two minor bottoms at 48,459.88 and 48,428.13 stand in the way of key retracement zone, retracement zone at 48,120.86 to 47,556.37, which is our first major downside target and value zone. Okay. That makes a little more sense when you look at the chart. All those numbers really kind of... I ain't gonna lie, reading all these numbers kind of screws these articles up. I don't know if there's a better way to, like, say that, but if you have to keep reading these numbers over and over again, it kind of like, you don't get your point across as easily, I don't think. March E-mini futures mini Dow futures are also pressing through the 50-day moving average at 49,229 after rejecting a pivot at 49,657 several times. Minor targets come in at 48,703 and 48,506. But the main target on its leg down in the key value zone come in at 48,383 and 47,857. Buyers may show up on a test to this area to stop the slide. S&P 500 decisively breaks 50-day moving average with bears eyeing 6,762 to 6,705 value zone. The cash S&P 500 index is down over 1%. Oh, God. Time to go to bed. Is down over 1% at the mid-session after decisively breaking its 50-day moving average at 6,895.83 on the opening. Additional resistance is a retracement zone at 6,888.89 to 6,915.65. Excuse me. The index is currently testing the pivot of last week's range at 6,845.75. If it fails, downside momentum could easily send the market to the key retracement zone and value area at 6,762 to 6,705.42, where aggressive bottom pickers could step in for technical bounce. This is a lot of mumbo jumbo. I actually don't like this article at all. Yeah, basically this article is like, well, if the stocks go lower, people might buy them. You think so? March E-mini S&P 500 index futures never regained their 50-day moving average last week, so the pressure started early Sunday night. There appears to be enough downside momentum to challenge the major retracement zone at 6,813 to 6,758.75, which stopped the selling last week at 6,791 and earlier in the month at 6,751.5. The third time could be the charm for the bears because if 6,758.75 fails to hold, prices could drop sharply to the 200-day moving average of 666 or 6,639.61. Yeah, this dude just does double numbers each time. He's like, well, this could be this number or it could be that number. This is goofy shit. The NASDAQ composite is sitting between the 50-day moving average resistance at 2,300 or 23,275.19 and the 200-day moving average support at 21,903.23. The trade is neutral, but the trend is down, suggesting buyers are coming in on the dips. But there aren't enough buyers taking out offers. This usually indicates they like the market, but only at their price. Support is 2,229.08 to 2,181.82. Resistance is 2,209 no 22,959.14, then 23,275.26. E-mini NASDAQ 100 straddling key pivot with 200-day moving average the next major test. March E-mini NASDAQ 100 index futures are straddling a short-term pivot at 24,843.5 with a bias to the downside. If the selling pressure persists, we could see a near-term test of the 200-day moving average at 24,443.39. Watch for a technical bounce on the first test of this indicator. The upside is capped by a downtrend line at 25,171 and a pair of 50% levels at 25,294.5 to 25,441.75. The major resistance and trend indicator is the 50-day moving average at 25,497.69. The index looks like it is trying to form a support base, which is similar to accumulation at bargain prices, but there just isn't a catalyst in the market at this time to fuel the start of a solid rally. Like the cash market. It is likely to bounce off the 200-day moving average and 50-day moving average, keeping it inside a trading range. Okay, whatever. You guys can see what they're talking about here, though. That's those little lines at the bottom he's got there. Huh. Okay. We'll do IBM first. All right. Had to write something down there, sorry. Alright. Very cool. Alright, so we'll just run through IBM's charts here. IBM stock is down 13.58% today. Over the past 5 days, it's down 14.12%. Currently sitting at $222.24. Over the past month, it's down 24%. Over the past 6 months, it's down 7.18%. Year to date, it's down 24.97%. Over the past year, it's down 15.13%. Over the past 5 years, it's up 95.63%. But look at that chart. And on a maximum chart, since 1986, it's up 482.54%. But check this out. Let's look at some of their stats. IBM's got a PE ratio of 18.02, an EPS of $12.37, pays a dividend of 3.02%, a quarterly dividend of $1.68, has a 52-week low of $214.50, a 52-week high of $324.90. So it's getting pretty close to that 52-week low. IBM has over 270,000 employees. Yeah, that's IBM for you. A little quick look at their charts. We'll probably make a short out of that. I think IBM's an attractive company. So, Anthropic evidently is releasing a new code tool that's supposedly doing something. Let's see it. All right, this is at 3:01, so about an hour ago. We got Vince Condorcuri. Fuck. IBM stock gets hammered after Anthropic releases new code tool. Shares of tech giant IBM dropped 13.63%. Dropped sharply after AI firm Anthropic announced that its Claude code tool can now work with COBOL, which is a decades-old programming language that is widely used in large business systems because IBM has long specialized in maintaining and modernizing COBOL-based infrastructure. Investors worry that AI could reduce the need for those services. As a result, the announcement triggered a swift sell-off of the stock. Interestingly, COBOL, short for Common Business Oriented Language, dates back to the 1950s but still powers many critical systems today. For instance, it is heavily used in industries such as banking, retail, government, and transportation. In addition, COBOL is responsible for about 95% of ATM transactions in the United States alone. According to Anthropic, and hundreds of billions of lines of code According to Anthropic, and hundreds of billions of lines of the code remained active worldwide. Okay, I see. However, the number of programmers who understand the language has been shrinking for years, which has made maintaining these systems increasingly difficult and expensive. Nevertheless, Anthropic claims that its AI can change that by quickly analyzing and documenting complex legacy code, which is a task that previously required teams of specialists and months of work. The company says Claude can map relationships across thousands of lines, explain how systems function, and identify risks, potentially speeding up modernization projects dramatically. As a result, fears that AI could disrupt established technology businesses have increased. Is IBM a buy, sell, or a hold? Turning to Wall Street analysts, Turning to Wall Street, analysts have a moderate buy consensus rating on IBM stock based on 12 buys, 5 holds, and 1 sell assigned in the past 3 months, as indicated by the graphic below. Furthermore, the average IBM price target of $337.53 a share implies 45.7% upside potential. There's a little graphic here for you. Basically just says that what I just read, their price targets. Alright, that's it for that. That's it for that article. IBM. Back on January 28th, 2026, they beat earnings by 5.3%. And they beat revenue by 2.45%. IBM sounds like a freaking banger to me. But, it could go way lower. No doubt about it. It's at 2. I mean, it could go to fucking 0 for real. You never know. You really just never know. Salesforce too. The question is, do these stocks deserve to be destroyed like this and crushed down like this? It's tough to say. Who really knows? Salesforce. Yeah, so we've got Salesforce here, sitting at $177.96, down 3.89% today. Over the past 5 days, it's down 2.27%. Over the past month, it's down 21.96%. Over the past 6 months, it's down 28.18%. Over the past year to date, it's down 32.8%. Over the past year, it's down 42.26%. Over the past 5 years, it's down 17.82%. You go back far enough, it goes up. Going back to 2004 on Google Finances, as far back as it goes back to 2004, it's up 4,404.56%. Peep the stats. It's got a PE ratio of 23.67, an EPS of $7.50. It's got a 52-week high of $313.70, a 52-week low of $174.57, so it's approaching that 52-week low. It pays a dividend. It's got a dividend of 0.94%, a quarterly dividend of 42 cents. What the heck? Oh, it's already hit its 52-week low, I guess, over the last couple of days, probably. Or maybe even earlier today. Look at that. Salesforce price target cuts ahead of Q4 earnings. Is that right? That's 8 hours ago. Big Salesforce price targets cuts. What the heck is that? Alright. Let's try this one. I don't know why that one wasn't loading very. This one's on some bullshit as well. Now we're getting into the weird articles. Okay, here we go. Analyst / Salesforce price targets ahead of when. This is by Ronnie Mola. Yeah, Ronnie Mola. Analyst / Salesforce price targets ahead of its Wednesday earnings as narrative of AI eating its lunch persists. A number of analysts have significantly lowered their price targets for Salesforce, citing growing fears that AI workforce tools, including Anthropic's Cowork, could threaten parts of its core business. According to reports, here are some of the recent cuts. Morgan Stanley cut its price target nearly 30% to $287 from $398. Jefferies slashed its forecast 33% to $250 from $375. Barclays reduced its price target to $265 from $338. Evercore ISI went to $260 from $340. Last week, Citigroup also reduced its price target to $197 from $257. That's way closer to the range that it's at right now. That's not good. Earlier this month, Wedbush securities analyst Dan Ives offered a different view, adding Salesforce to his list of top 30 AI companies and calling the stock a core participant in the AI revolution. He described the recent software sell-off as overblown. Shares of Salesforce, which reports earnings Wednesday, are down 30% year to date and 1% pre-market today. This is kind of a cool little site here. Check this out by Josh Keegan. Anthropic says that a group of Chinese AI startups are distilling their models by setting up huge numbers of fake accounts for Claude AI in a blog post. Anthropic said that they disrupted industrial scale campaigns by Chinese AI labs DeepSeek, Moonshot, and Minimax. The company said that the group had over 16 million exchanges with Claude after setting up 24,000 fraudulent accounts. Anthropic said it is developing countermeasures to prevent such attacks in the future. Was that Josh Keegan up there? Yep. Now here we go. Josh Keegan again. He's a prolific little writer, this guy. This is 4 hours ago. Report OpenAI's Stargate has been a chaotic mess. Just over a year ago, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman stood alongside President Trump, Oracle's Larry Ellison, and SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son to announce an ambitious $500 billion plan to build massive data centers in the U.S., Project Stargate. While today an actual Stargate 1 gigawatt data center is certainly well under construction in Abilene, Texas, it turns out there wasn't much of a plan in place at the time of the announcement, according to a new report from the information. The past year has been full of partner disputes, debt problems, and scuttled plans as the loosely defined project races to build the AI computing infrastructure that OpenAI is craving as competition heats up. Per the report, OpenAI tried to build its own data centers as the project stalled. But lenders balked at funding the risky project. They eventually settled on the current plan in which partner Oracle borrows the money and leases capacity back to OpenAI. OpenAI was able to control the design of the facility. The slow start for the project resulted in OpenAI missing its own goal of 10 gigawatts of AI compute capacity from Oracle and SoftBank by the end of 2025. It seems like OpenAI is the struggling one here. I don't know why they're struggling so bad compared to the other ones. Maybe they're doing more ambitious shit. I really don't have no idea. That stuff's... I mean, I'm learning. I am learning. Before we run over the charts one more time, we'll go over some personal cool notes, you know? Yeah, as I'm doing this stuff, I've probably, doubled my knowledge and 10x'd my articulation skills of how to speak about this stuff since I've been doing these little live streams. So, it's helping me a lot. Keeps me on track, keeps me focused on putting money into the markets every week, and, it's helpful. It kind of helps with the flow of my day as well. Like, I kind of need to be kept on a schedule sometimes, but yeah, this has been pretty good for me. Hopefully, we keep at it. Not hopefully, we will keep at it. We will keep at it. Some things have happened in my personal life that allow me to speak a little louder, a little clearer here. Through some strange mental something. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't, you know? So the Dow Jones is at 48,804.06. It's down 1.66% today so far. It's at 4:10 p.m. What's going on, guys? I guess since they released the files, everybody's stopping doing what they're supposed to be doing now. The Dow's dropping. That lady, she can't say that no more. The Dow is over 50,000. The Qs just recrossed over into that $600 threshold. They were down. Last time we checked, I believe they were down at like 558 or something like that. Okay. S&P 500 is at 6,837.75. Got a ways to go to get back up to that 7,000 level. Got a ways to go. Tesla. There we go. I don't know why I was giving me grief. Tesla is down to $399.83. $399.83. Look at that, though. You know it's probably about to freaking take off. That's kind of how Tesla does it sometimes. Over the past 6 months, it's up 15.36%. Year to date, it's down 11.09%. Over the past year, it's up 20.97%. And over the past 5 years, it's up 77.57%. So, you know, I want to read an article about the broader market. I think there's a creature living under my fucking house. Not I think. There must be. Evidently. I mean, you know. Alright, here we go. The Motley Fool. Why February 26th could be a huge day for the stock market. This is written by Adria Camino. Investors have key points. Investors have rushed to get in on AI stocks in recent years, and this has fueled gains in the S&P 500. Many stocks surged in a very short period of time. There's another article here. 10 stocks we like better than Nvidia. AI stocks helped the S&P 500 soar in the double digits over each of the past 3 years. Investors were eager to pile into companies active in this new high potential area, and in many cases their portfolios benefited from the decision right away. Many companies saw their shares soar in the double and triple digits in this early stage of the AI boom. In recent times, though, investors have become more cautious about AI investing as they worry that the pace of AI spending may slow at some point and send high-flying stocks crashing down. So investors have been particularly tuned into what messages industry leaders are delivering. With keen attention directed at levels of demand and AI spending, with keen attention directed at levels of demand and AI spending. Will AI create the world's first trillionaire? Oh, it's like against the backdrop, February 26th could be a huge day for the stock market, with one key message driving big gains for declines. Let's take a closer look and find out how you can prepare. An image of some stock market guy here. So first, what exactly is happening on February 26th? The big event I'm talking about actually unfolds the day before. Following the close of the stock market on February 25th, Nvidia is scheduled to report fiscal 2026 fourth quarter and full year earnings. Nvidia has become the central player in the AI growth story as it sells the most powerful chips used for crucial AI tasks, such as the training and inference of large language models. These, along with NVIDIA's entire portfolio of related products and services, have generated billions of dollars in earnings for the company in recent years. Of course, this is great for NVIDIA, but you may wonder why what NVIDIA has to say is important for the performance of the entire market. NVIDIA said, thanks to its leadership in this high growth field, has become a bellwether for the tech industry. Good news from this player is generally seen as a favorable sign for AI development moving forward, and most of today's tech leaders have some involvement in AI. Any potential NVIDIA setbacks could worry investors. The idea is, if this market giant sees AI headwinds, so will others in the field. The use of an investment in AI even spills over into other industries, so a disappointment from NVIDIA could weigh considerably on a variety of stocks. All of this means investors will look closely at NVIDIA's report and listen to every word from leader Jensen Huang during the earnings call. The message should be an important one for the company and the stock market in general, and it may set the tone for the S&P 500's performance in the next trading session. A common message from AI lenders. What does this mean for you as an investor? First, it's important to note that there's reason to be optimistic about NVIDIA's upcoming report. The company's peers, from chip designer AMD to tech giant Microsoft, have already reported earnings and have spoken of continued high demand on AI customers, so it's likely NVIDIA's message will be very similar. The company also has a solid track record of positive earnings surprises, having beaten estimates for at least the past 4 quarters. Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean Nvidia stock will soar or that the entire market will surge following even a fantastic earnings report. As mentioned, investors have been thinking twice before immediately jumping into AI stocks, and some might even consider rotating out of big winners like Nvidia in favor of stocks like that haven't yet gained as much in this AI race. So the best thing an AI investor can do on February 26th is remain calm regardless of which direction the S&P 500 takes. Don't remain calm, panic, freak out, jump on the floor and start screaming. It's important to focus on the long-term AI story, which so far continues to look very bright. This means that if Nvidia and the market climb on February 26th, you may celebrate that you got in on certain winning AI stocks early. And if Nvidia and the market fall, you might use this moment as an opportunity to buy shares of this AI leader and other AI giants for a great price. In either case, your investments in quality AI stocks may lead you to a long-term win regardless of the direction the S&P 500 takes on February 26th. According to that person at the Motley Fool, should you buy Nvidia right now? Well, they got 10 stocks they like better than Nvidia. So, whatever. Pretty cool. Alright, guys, I think that's going to do it. It's your cousin Dustin. Check in with your boy every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll be here from, around like 3:30ish to around like 4:30ish. Today we got in a little early. I think we started at like 3:20. We're probably gonna end right at 4:25 or so. So yeah, holla at your boy. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like and subscribe. If you got stock that you want me to go over, put it in the comments. I'll do it. I'll try my best to go over them. Yeah, good stuff. Very good. Very productive. We like that.